at the Model Clearout event. It's the best time to team up with a Honda you'll love.
Welcome to Kauffman Stadium in beautiful Kansas City, Missouri. It is a muggy night, 32 degrees, but it feels like it's 38. But there's a lot of excitement in that Blue Jays dugout. A couple of rookies will make their major league debut here tonight. And what a great place to do it. It's a pitcher's ballpark, so it's a great opportunity, Pat. And I think that had something to do with the calling up of Sean Reed-Foley making his start here in Kansas City.
We had a chance to talk about that a little bit before today's ball game. You're on the road. That's a good thing. You're playing the Kansas City Royals and pitching against them, and they've got 35 wins this season. You're in a pitcher's ballpark, small crowd. It's not like opening up in New York or Boston against those crazy teams, the crazy fans and those great teams. You're here. This is a great opportunity for both Danny Jansen and Sean Reed-Foley to make their major league debuts.
The Blue Jays won yesterday. They won a game 2-1 against Tampa Bay. Let's take a look at the lineup for John Gibbons Blue Jays. They are 53-64. Devin Travis has enjoyed his time hitting against the Royals. He's got a .359 career batting average against Kansas City. And then down in the 7th spot, what a pleasant surprise Aledmys Diaz has been for this ball club. For the season, he's hitting .263, and 10 of his 15 home runs have come on the road, and he's played in this ballpark before when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals.
Yeah, he's been hitting the ball with authority. They will face Brad Keller tonight, making his 13th start and 34th appearance for the Royals. This is his rookie season. The Blue Jays saw him back in April when he came out of the bullpen a couple of times, and they treated him very rudely. All told, just 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, a run against Brad Keller. He made his first start back on May the 30th, and he's been in the rotation ever since. He's got a good sinking fastball. He doesn't give up a lot of home runs, gets a lot of ground balls with that hard sinker.
He has a very good ground ball rate, second only to Marcus Stroman, and the outfield is good here in Kansas City, and it has to be. It's a spacious ballpark.
So you better have good defenders in the outfield, and this is one of the best in all of baseball in left field. Alex Gordon, 5-time Gold Glove winner since 2010. He's had 90 outfield assists, the most in Major League Baseball. Those outfield assists, 8 of them this year, places him 4th in the American League. He was a converted third baseman. He has really taken to the outfield. He's one of the best in all of baseball.
So Curtis Granderson, he will lead things off for the Blue Jays. Brad Keller, just 23 years old, originally drafted by the Arizona Diamondbacks. He was taken in a Rule 5 draft by Cincinnati and traded the same day to Kansas City. Boy, he's a big fella. He certainly has the body to stand up to the rigors of being a starting pitcher. 6'5", 230.
Put together a very good rookie season, ranking second among first-year players in ERA.
Here's the first pitch of the ball game. It is in there for a strike, and we are underway. Curtis batting .233 for the season with 10 homers and 31 RBIs. He gets jammed and hits a fly ball to right. Jose Herrera, the right fielder, is there. He makes the catch.
Big right-hander, 2 pitches in. He's got his first out. Let's take a look at the scatter report. It's very simple. Fastball, slider, and changeup from Keller. Left-handed batters have seen their batting average go up against him over the last month or so. But it's a good fastball with a lot of movement. Gets a lot of sink and a lot of ground balls with it.
Here's Devin Travis. He takes a pitch upstairs for a ball. Devin, for the season, hitting .251. 8 homers and 35 RBIs. He shatters his bat and fouls it. That barrel goes all the way out the shortstop.
That's exactly what I mean right there. That 2-seam sinker right in on his hands. And if you don't hit it on the sweet spot, that's what's going to happen to your bat. It's going to just explode in your hands. Devin can't catch the ball out in front and just shatters the bat.
So now he's got to regroup a little bit as the pieces of that bat are scattered all over the field. The barrel went out the shortstop where Mondesi picked it up. A ball and a strike to Devin Travis. Hits one high in the air to left field. If it's fair, it's trouble. This ball is Home run, Devin Travis. His 9th home run of the season. That's only the 4th home run that Keller has surrendered this year. And the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead.
Yeah, you look at the numbers from Keller. He has the best rate in the major leagues at not giving up home runs. Doesn't even give up 1 per 9 innings, but he's going to give up 1 to the second batter of the ball game. The Kansas City Royals are asking to hold on to take a look at it, but now they've waved it off. That one was right down the line, and it looked like it went over the foul pole down the left field line. Devin Travis continually hitting on the road.
For Travis, that's his 4th career home run against Kansas City. Another look at the swing. Pitch up and out over the plate.
Yeah, that's not where he wanted to get that thing. Look at Luis Rivera getting on that line to help out the umpires. He's the third base coach, getting on that line, and he waves it and keeps it fair. Right down the line. As a hitter, you're praying that that thing doesn't curve foul.
Talking to it the whole way up the first baseline. Justin Smoke with a 3-0 count. 18 homers and 59 RBIs for Smoke. A 4-pitch walk. First innings have been a problem for Brad Keller. Over his last 6 starts, he's really had some trouble. Although he's 2-2 during those 6 starts, his ERA is over 6. He's given up 22 earned runs in, 22 earned runs in 32 and 3rd innings coming into this start tonight.
First home run that he's given up in 3 outings. Can't find the release point on that sinker just yet. He's induced 15 ground ball double plays, so he's always got that in the back of his pocket.
Randall Grichuk takes one outside for a ball. Randall hitting cleanup, and his bat's coming around a bit. 16 home runs, driven home 43. Pops this one in the air, center field. Brett Phillips, who waits for it, center fielder is there, makes the catch. Grichuk retired on a high fly ball to center. Well, that's really unusual for Keller. He gives up a home run and a high fly ball out to right. Curtis Granderson also flew out to right. For a single ball pitcher, he's got to start getting the ball down.
That's a great sign if you're a Blue Jay fan. See the Blue Jays, and they're an extreme fly ball type of team, aren't they? I mean, they hit a lot of home runs, a lot of fly balls, and so far, that's been a good sign for them.
You can hear the Royal fans welcoming Kendrys Morales back to Kansas City. Because he played for the Royals and was a very popular player in his time here. He's popular wherever he plays. 2 out, Smokes at first. Breaking ball. Morales, his average for the season is 243. Lately he's been swinging more consistently and has been laying off that breaking ball a lot.
I think he was guessing first pitch fastball and he didn't get it.
It's a fastball there, hits it into the shift. Whit Merrifield, the second baseman from shallow right field, throws him out. The inning is over, but the Blue Jays, they break out on top thanks to the home run. Devin Travis hits a 1-out home run high and deep just inside the foul pole down the left field line. And the Blue Jays have a 1-0 lead for Sean Reed Foley, who will make his big league debut when we come back. Kansas City Royals. They've had just 35 wins this season. Whit Merrifield, top of the order. 300 hits since the start of 2017. That's the 6th most in the American League. And then in the 3rd spot, the All-Star, Sal Perez. 13 of his 19 home runs have been against right-handed pitchers, and that's who he's going to face tonight in Sean Reed-Foley.
Big league debut for the former 2nd-round draft pick Sean Foley. There are the numbers this season in 23 starts. Between AA and AAA, he was in low A ball just 2 seasons ago, but he has steadily improved and he has steadily climbed the ladder. His fastball command has been much better. He's gotten his stuff under control, and I think that's why you see him now rocketing through the farm system.
Reed-Foley is just 22. He'll turn 23 later on in this month of August. There's a first pitch strike, and that ball will be taken out of play, so they have it to authenticate the fact that that's his first big league pitch. They're going to get the ball back. They threw it over to the authenticator. Yeah, they threw it to the authenticator who's in the Royals dugout, so he will put a sticker on it and they will authenticate the fact that that indeed is the ball. 1-1 now to Whit Merrifield. We mentioned his 300 hits since the start of 2017. 6th most in the majors. He's a good player.
Yeah, he is a very underrated type of player. He's played some outfield for him this year, mostly second base. He's the igniter. If you want to shut this offense down, this is the guy you got to shut down right here. He's got a nice blend of power and speed.
Merrifield is 29 years old. Reed-Foley with a 1-2 count. Trying to elevate that fastball. 95 miles an hour. We saw Reed-Foley in spring training. In fact, he pitched in our first TV broadcast in spring training, and we didn't see this velocity then. And his numbers have ticked up dramatically.
The only thing you can think about, well, hey, it's spring training, and it was his first outing in the big leagues, in big league camp, and his fastball was 91 or 92, but he was getting into shape. Now that thing is 95 or 96, and being able to put it where you need to is more important.
Ground ball, that'll go through for a base hit. A 2-strike base hit for Whit Merrifield. He'll boost his average. He came in starting at 295.
I mentioned location. They want the ball down and away, and the major league hitters, that one is elevated. He just didn't finish that one off. Slowed things down just a little bit. It ended up over the middle of the plate, and with Merrifield's on first base.
He's a threat to run. He has 25 stolen bases. He led the American League last year in stolen bases with 34. This is Alex Gordon. Takes a pitch inside. Of course, Reed-Foley throwing to Danny Jansen. They have been down this road before. They've played the last 3 seasons together, so they know each other very well. Gordon is now 34 years old, former first-round pick of the Royals. Right back in 2005.
Starting to hit a little bit better, so they have elevated him in the lineup. He was hitting down in the lineup. There are the numbers over the last 14 games. Dead pull hitter, so the Blue Jays are going to play him pull.
This is his 12th season with the Royals. Pat mentioned he started out as a third baseman. He played third base in 2007, 2008, but he had a big weight to bear. Everybody said it's the next George Brett. Nobody can stand up to that kind of pressure.
Yeah. First round draft pick. Yeah, we're going to give you number 4, which is just below number 5, what George used to wear. Go get him.
That's popped out of play. 2-2 now to the Royals left fielder. Defensively, Pilar, Granderson, and Grichuk in the outfield. Diaz and Travers up the middle, and Danny Jansen behind the plate.
Yeah, let's highlight Danny Jansen. First time since 1967 in the American League that 2 rookies are making their major league debut, and they're the battery. Well, Danny Jansen, very familiar with Sean Reed-Foley, will get the start behind the plate, and he might be busy early on here if they start that runner. Come on.
Looked like a pretty good pitch. Scott and Kathy Jansen, Danny Jansen's parents, they've been around the ball club. They've been to spring training in the past, but This is a little different story. Their son's playing in his first big league game. There goes the runner, and Gordon fouls it off.
Boy, it looked like he had his first big league strikeout. That pitch to Gordon looked like it was right over the corner. So now he's got to throw a better one. How about a strike him out, throw him out?
Be a pretty good situation for both Reed Foley and Jansen. Danny Jansen doesn't have a powerful arm, but he got a very quick release. He gets rid of the ball very well. Three and two. There goes Merrifield. Hit in the air. High fly ball. Grichuk giving chase in front of the wall. He is there. He makes the catch. Merrifield had turned around second base. He retags second as he makes his way back to first. Ball hung up in the air. First big league out for Sean Reed Foley.
That's why this park is a great place for Sean to start his major league career. It's a pitcher's ballpark. It always has been. Lots of room in left center field and in right center field. This is the runner Merrifield, who read this ball that it was over and off the wall. So that's how you do it. Long fly ball into the gaps. You make the turn and then make sure you touch the base on your way back.
So here's the catcher, Sal Perez, batting with a man at first and one out. Merrifield looks like he wants to run. Breaking ball in there for strike one. Breaking ball looked like it might have come around the plate. Perez checking with the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook. Six-time All-Star, hitting .232 as we speak.
And a power threat for sure.
Perez also a terrific defender with a cannon for an arm. He's thrown out 51% of the base stealers this year. And he's a four-time Gold Glover winner. He waves at that breaking ball.
First time through, I think the advantage is always with the pitcher. Hitters like a lot of information. They want to go in there and see what the breaking ball looks like. And Sean's got two different breaking balls, a curveball and a slider. Danny was telling us before the game today, Jansen, that his breaking ball command has been a lot better the last few years.
Ball in dirt now. It's 2-2 to the catcher Perez. Lucas Duda, the first baseman, is on deck, but this is a pretty special moment. Not only for these two players, Reed Foley and Jansen, but for the organization. When you think about it, you got a 22-year-old starting pitching making his debut and a 23-year-old catcher who is projected to be an everyday catcher. And then you've got 24-year-old Ryan Barucki making a start tomorrow. Teoscar Hernandez is 25. Things are getting brighter for the Blue Jays' future. But when you think about it, the prospects of bringing up a 23-year-old catcher who you think might be an everyday player is pretty special. Lourdes Gurriel, he's another 24-year-old.
Such an important position. And you're asking a guy to do a lot of things, but this is the perfect time for him with Russell Martin playing third base now.
Ground ball, Martin at third. Second for one. They've got time, and there's the double play. Sean Reed Foley has an inning under his belt in the big leagues. He gets a double play started by Russell Martin at third base. Danny Jansen, he too now is a big leaguer.
price. For $49.99, watch every out-of-market regular season game, plus get a free subscription to MLB At Bat Premium. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.tv to take advantage of this very special offer. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel. A beautiful night here in Kansas City. It's a overcast night. They were talking about the possibility of some thunder showers, but so far so good. So Russell Martin, he started that 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. He takes the first pitch strike. Martin, boy, he's had a 10-game streak of reaching base. And during that time, he scored 9 runs. He's got a .526 on base percentage over those 10 games.
He's putting himself in great positions to hit the fastball. And when he gets that fastball, he's not missing it. Here he is again now in a 2-1 spot against Keller. He can look for the fastball.
There's a slider off the plate in the dirt. Three and one now. Ball 4. Martin takes another walk. He has done that consistently. That's the 50th walk he has drawn this season. That's going to boost that streak to 11 straight games reaching base for Russell Martin. He starts it with a leadoff walk. Here's Aledmys Diaz. Diaz has 15 home runs on the season. 10 of those have come on the road. Takes a first pitch strike. That's unusual.
Yeah, and it was a fastball, 92 right there, but he wanted to get a good look at Brad Keller on that first pitch. He is usually free swinging on that first fastball.
We found that one back. 0-2. Keller gave up a 1-out home run to Devin Travis in the first inning. The home run for Travis was a significant home run. It was his 33rd career home run as a second baseman. That broke the tie with Damo Garcia. He moves him into the 3rd spot now. He's one behind Orlando Hudson in that category. Perez. For a big guy, he really moves her well behind the plate.
He commands so much respect behind the plate. They just had a series against the St. Louis Cardinals where the 2 best catchers in each league were going at each other. Perez and Yadier Molina. He gives a great target. He's a big player. You don't see catchers this big.
Diaz got jammed, hits it out in front of home, and Keller threw maybe his best sinker of the night to the first baseman Lucas Duda. Almost handcuffed Duda. So Martin moves to second. Looks almost like a sacrifice.
His slider's coming around. It's not there yet, so you can just eliminate that for now. And that's that big hard sinker right in on the hands that he fights it off. Selected by the Reds from the Diamondbacks organization, acquired by the Royals after that Rule 5 pick.
Kevin Pillar did not start in the game yesterday. He got a big hit, a pinch hit double in the 8th inning, and scored a big run, the 4th run of the ball game. Check that it was 2nd run of the ball game. Different situation for Pillar. He made a heck of a base running play. Little roller out in front of home off the bat of Randall Grichuk. He came down the line at 3rd and then stopped the moment that the catcher looked at him. He saw Pillar stop, threw to 1st, and Kevin came home.
Yeah, and he said, I was gambling on that one. I was hoping that that catcher would come up and throw to first base, and then I knew I had to beat the pitcher to the plate, and the pitcher made a good play himself. And Kevin was safe, and the Blue Jays eventually won that game.
2-0 pitch. There's another good sinker. Boy, that thing runs hard. Let's take a look at that great play by Pillar, base running.
Well, the catcher is out of the play, And it was all about a timing play for Kevin. The ball was hit by Grichuk out in front of home plate, and he had to read it. And once he read that the catcher had picked the ball up and thrown over to first base, he was going to gamble. And he got in just ahead of the tag. It was replayed by the officials, and they said indeed he was in there scoring the second run.
It was the winning run in a 2-1 ball game. Pilar again gets jammed a bit and hits it into the seats, and Keller's got a good moving fastball, but it's still a little bit up.
Yep, and that's one way to get that thing out of there, is start hitting that ball and keeping it fair. Devin Travis did it in the first inning, and then it looked like Keller ran away from trying to throw fastballs in.
Missed with that pitch downstairs. Full count, 1 out. Top of the second inning. The Blue Jays swept the 3-game series these two clubs played back in April. That was at Rogers Center. They really pounded on the Royals pitching staff. They outscored them dramatically, and they had just the upper hand. They had a walk-off win in game 2 of that series, 5-4 win, but the other 2 were blowouts. Pilar hits at the left field. Gordon running back makes a nice running catch. Martin has to retreat and goes back to second. We talk about Gordon, what a good outfielder he was. That's on display once again.
So free and easy into the outfield. That is a hard play. Any line drive over your head, you got to read it off the bat. And he read that one perfectly and made the easy catch.
So Danny Jansen will get his first big league at bat. Jansen has really come on with the bat we showed you, and there's the family making sure they capture this moment. Steve and Kathy Jansen in the middle. Proud parents. Look at the smile on Steve's face. They just looked up at the scoreboard and saw their son's picture up on the scoreboard here at Kauffman Stadium. Danny Jansen has always been a good catcher. He signed out of Wisconsin and didn't play a lot of baseball simply because of the weather restrictions in Wisconsin. He said he played about 18 high school games a year. But he's always been regarded as a very good leader behind the plate.
And the offense has finally caught up to the defense. I was looking at some of his numbers from his first couple of seasons as a professional, and you can tell that he was overmatched. Overmatched, and he couldn't see. He fixed that problem, and now he's been hitting ever since.
Ground ball, base hit for Danny Jansen through the left side. Gordon's got a good arm. Martin's headed toward the plate. Here's the throw. He is out. Alex Gordon, one of the best outfield arms in baseball, throws out Russell Martin trying to score. But Danny Jansen in his first big league at bat gets a base hit to left field. The runner is cut down at the plate to end the inning, and you can see him looking up to his family to acknowledge that first big league hit for Danny Jansen in his first big league at bat. And here's the reaction of his family. It's through for a base hit, and they almost saw an RBI.
Pete Walker told me that he has seen a vast improvement in Sean Reed-Foley over the last few springs. Yes, he had a tough camp this year with the fastball command not being where it is now. His velocity, as you heard Pat say, was a click down at camp. Now he is sitting 95, 97. But throughout the course of the season, Walker said that Reed-Foley worked awfully hard. He worked hard on his slider depth. It's outstanding nowadays. Overall, his command of the baseball has improved. Location, particularly down and away, especially to right-handed batters, has been very good. From all reports, Walker telling me Reed-Foley has done everything he needed to do to get here tonight. The challenge for anyone making a big league debut, of course, the emotions, the nerves. It's the same for a position player, Walker tells me, but he believes it's more nerve-wracking for a pitcher, Buck, because he's in the spotlight and he knows it. Once he calms down, he'll be able to make his pitches the way he's used to making them.
Yeah, obviously everybody is focused on the pitcher's mound with every pitch, and you look at him and everybody is watching Sean Reed-Foley. But he has the benefit of working with a catcher he knows very well in Danny Jansen. Lucas Duda hacks it at and fouls it back. Sal Perez hit into a inning-ending double play to end the bottom of the first. Duda in his first season here with Kansas City. Spent the majority of his career with the Mets in New York.
It's outstanding power and a very good low ball hitter. I think you got to keep the ball away from him.
A changeup and a good one. Duda is a big power hitter, but you diffuse the power by taking something off that fastball. Check swing. I think the Blue Jays did a heck of a job with Sean Reed-Foley. Last year, he pitched in Double-A, and he took his lumps. He was 10-11 with a 5.09 ERA, made 27 starts and gave up 22 home runs. So Dane Johnson suggested, you know what? He had some unfinished business in Double-A. So they sent him back to Double-A this year. He made 8 starts, and I would say he finished up his business there. He went 5-0. But Dane has really been involved with this young pitching corps since many of them have signed. He was the pitching coordinator down in the minor leagues for years, but he has been up here now as a bullpen coach.
And he's not a finished product yet. I mean, there's still some growing to go through.
Fly ball into center field. Pilar, medium depth, makes the catch. One away. So we talk about Sean Reed-Foley in the development and how things are improving for him. When you look at his record last year at Double-A, Pat, he was getting hammered, but what a turnaround in one season.
All right, here's the difference. You go from A ball, where there's a bunch of free swingers, and you can just get the ball around the plate and you're going to have success, right? In A ball, then you go to Double-A, and his first taste in 2017 at ERA over 5. You have a little bit more polished hitters. They have a game plan when they go up there. They start to figure out hitting just a little bit more, and you've gotten rid of all those A ball players. Now you're starting to get some pretty good prospects in Double-A. And his first year was not good. He had to make some adjustments.
There's another fly ball. Pilar going over in the alley in left field. He makes the catch. 2 fly ball outs for Reed-Foley here.
Some of those adjustments, hey, I got to hit on my fastball just a little bit more. And I've got to be able to throw my breaking ball when I'm behind. And he's starting to do that. Went back to Double-A. You repeated some levels in the minor leagues. I know when I went back to certain levels, I was like, okay, I have a year under my belt. I got it now. I know what I have to do. I think Sean's that type of player where he goes to a place for the first time. It's a new surroundings, and he might get knocked around a little bit, but he has that way to adapt.
Brent Phillips. He is late on that fastball. Boy, you can see the tempo picking up with Reed-Foley now. He's got an inning under his belt. He's got 2 outs here in the second, and you can see the confidence growing with each pitch. It's really interesting how quickly he has picked up the tempo.
I asked Pete Walker today, I said, Pete, is he an excitable kid, or is a guy who'll take it in and have that slow heartbeat, that ability to slow things down? He says, I think he's the kind of guy who gets really excited. And he gets fired up, and there's a lot of emotion in him early on, and he's hoping that he could get through those first couple of innings so he can just calm down just a little bit.
Missed with that pitch. It's now 3-1. Brett Phillips, the batter. Phillips is just 24 years old. He's late on that fastball. Had a good idea he was going to get it on a 3-1 fastball count.
Challenge him. He's hitting .217 with 1 home run and 8 RBIs. Doesn't look like a real big power hitter. Challenge him. Here's my best fastball. Just keep it in the middle of the ballpark and you'll be fine. It's 410 to straightaway center field.
It's a big yard. Phillips came to Kansas City from the Brewers in the Mike Moustakas deal. That's a good pitch just inside off the plate. So that's the first walk issued by Sean Reed Foley. A 2-out walk to the number 6 hitter. Brian O'Hearn will come to the plate with a man on and 2 outs. O'Hearn was drafted by the Royals in the 8th round. He drives this one to left field. Granderson hustling back. It's over his head, and this ball is gone. Off the back of the bullpen wall. O'Hearn's second home run of the season. That ball was up, and he showed a lot of power to the opposite field.
The DH came into this game hitting .130 with 1 home run and didn't take very long to get the first pitch to get a second home run. 2 quick outs, and then you walk that guy, bringing up the big power hitter. This looked like a fly ball that kept carrying into left field.
Boy, did it ever. Pitch wasn't that bad a pitch. It was a little bit lower than I thought initially, and he drove it off that back wall in the bullpen. This is Adalberto Mondesi, the son of Raul Mondesi. He's playing shortstop now. For the last couple of years, he's played a lot of second base. Of course, Alcides Escobar, the incumbent shortstop, but Escobar has now moved to third base to free up shortstop for Mondesi.
Lots of changes on the Kansas City Royals over the last couple of seasons. All-stars leaving this team.
Of course, Mike Moustakas was just traded in July. Then Yost had a World Series team just a few years ago, 2015. There's the strikeout. That's the first big league strikeout. But Sean Reed Foley gives up a 2-run home run to Ryan O'Hearn. Kansas City has a 2-1 lead.
Champion Will Power goes for 3 straight victories at the ABC Supply 500. That's this Sunday on Sportsnet 1 and Sportsnet 360.
We move to the top of the third inning. Kansas City on a 2-run home run off the bat of Ryan O'Hearn as a 2-1 lead. Top of the order. Curtis Granderson will lead things off. Curtis flied out to right field his first time up.
That's Curtis right there. Taking a look at that pitcher, see what he has. He's got one of the lowest swing rates on the first pitch this season. He just likes to look that ball over. Not afraid to hit with one strike.
He goes to the plate with a distinct game plan, and every once in a while he'll ambush a fastball when he knows that the opposing pitcher knows that he takes a lot of pitches. He'll go up there and take a hack every once in a while, but it's a rare occurrence. Granderson swings, the ball's in the dirt. Perez blocks it and throws to first for the strikeout. That's the first strikeout for Keller.
That'll bring Devin Travis to the plate. And let's go back to that first inning. Second pitch, Devin sees that long, high arcing fly ball down the left field line. Statcast said it went 392 for his 9th home run of the season.
There's a high pitch, he fouls it straight back.
We've talked about Keller having a lot of movement on his pitches. His breaking ball is a work in progress, and his sinker is really good. The catcher, Sal Perez, doesn't have to move a whole lot behind the plate. He will now with 2 strikes. But early on, he'll sit up and set up in the middle of the plate and just let the breaking ball, the movement of those pitches, take it to the corner. You won't see him tonight move a whole lot.
That's off the end of the bat. Keller off the mound, fires to first in time to retire Travis. It looked like a breaking ball that Travis hit right off the end of the bat, just kind of squibbed it out toward the mound. So with 2 outs, Justin Smoke will come to the plate. Smoke has drawn one of 2 walks Keller has issued so far. Of course, it's Smoke and Martin who draw the walks. They do that all the time. For Smoke, that's his 64th walk of the season. With a better idea this time up what they're dealing with.
Well, 4 wide ones after the home run by Devin Travis. He ended up taking the bat right out of Smokey's hand. That's 2 more.
Yeah, so Smoke's focus can be very narrow right now and look for a ball he can hit out of the ballpark. As always, the infield plays him to pull, just the lone defender at short. That's the third baseman, Escobar. Not close. Well, you make a great point about the catcher setting up for Keller. He can't pinpoint his fastball, so give him the biggest part of the plate to shoot for.
Yeah, and let the movement take it off the barrel or to the corners. I think if you have a sinker ball type of pitcher who doesn't have a lot of command and you start setting up on the corner, he's going to miss a spot.
Well, that one went off the pitcher Keller, but it goes right to Escobar, and Smoke will be thrown out. Smoke hit it on the line right back to the mound. It hit Keller and then carried off him over to the shortstop, so Escobar was able to make it. Escobar playing third, but he's in his familiar shortstop position, so it's an easy play for him. Blue Jays are done. At the top of the third. lately when you look at the last 32 road games, and the pitching has really had their problems away from Rogers Center. Team ERA is 5.19, and the starters ERA almost 5.5.
Yeah, and that's, you win with pitching and defense. You'll figure out ways to score runs. The starters just haven't been able to give John Gibbons a lot of innings, and that has a domino effect on the bullpen. The bullpen then has to have added innings thrown their way, and it's just snowballed on them lately.
This is Alcides Escobar, former shortstop, now playing third. It's popped up on the infield. Diaz makes the catch behind the mound, one away. Sean Reed Foley started in Double-A, went 5-0 with Double-A, then he was promoted to Buffalo Triple-A. And you can see what he did in his last 10 starts to earn the call-up to the big leagues.
He got knocked around pretty hard in his first start at Double-A, but then settled in and figured things out, and his last 10 starts in Triple-A have been outstanding.
The leadoff man, Whit Merrifield, had a base hit his first time up. He was erased on the inning-ending double play off the bat of Sal Perez. Slider off the plate. You had mentioned that Sean Reed Foley has had struggles each time he is promoted from one level to the next, and that played out this year when he went to Syracuse. Another base hit for Merrifield. We told you he can hit. That'll get him up closer to 300. That's his second hit of the night. He's 2 for 2 against Reed Foley.
Both of them on high fastballs, both of them to left field, but Sean has a way of making things, making the adjustments.
He made that one start. That was against the Washington Nationals AAA team. His first start in AAA. You can see that ball was up, and Merrifield ripped it into left field. But his start in Buffalo wasn't a smooth start for sure. Gordon goes around. He worked 2 1/3, gave up 8 runs on 8 hits. But he was able to rebound from that and would end up 7-4 in AAA Buffalo in 15 starts.
Here's what happens a lot of times when players make their way from, Double-A to Triple-A, and they start to climb the ladder, and they're not familiar. And they want to do well, and they want to show that the promotion is justified, and they might try a little bit harder. They want to please their new teammates, and it's not a familiar surrounding, so they just feel like a fish out of water. And I think that's what happens with certain players certain times, but then the talent eventually comes through. And you're able to slow the game down, and your natural talent that can flow through you. Some people, some players just have that ability just to, whatever.
We've
right?
seen it with Ryan Barucki.
Yeah, that's
He
a
looks
great
like
example.
10-year veteran when he pitches. Reed Foley did a good job of holding that baseball. Merrifield had bounced off first base like he wanted to run, and Foley picked up on it, so he just calmly held on to the baseball and then threw the first.
He's trying to distract him. They're the league leaders in stolen bases. He's waiting for a breaking ball to go.
Out running here. There's a breaking ball and a strikeout. Gordon strikes out, second strikeout of the ball game for Reed Foley. Pretty good looking breaking ball there.
Yeah, much better than the one we saw back in spring training. It has some depth to it and some finish to a hard breaking ball. I like the 2 elevated fastballs to Gordon to get to that breaking ball.
Sal Perez bounced into a double play, his only time up. It's a 2-2 ball game. We're in the bottom of the third in Kansas City, first of 4 against the Royals.
Oh, he wanted to go. I don't know why he isn't trying to go. Merrifield over at first base actually took a couple of hops like he was going to go and then stopped.
Still not comfortable. Oh, what a play by Russell Martin. Nice pick at first. Russell has played very well in limited time over at third. He takes a hit away from Sal Perez. He knew he had some time because he had the catcher running. So he saves a base hit for Sean Reed Foley. But Russell looking very comfortable down at third base. Perez hits a hot shot. Martin dives and throws him out to end the inning.
Festivals presented by Bacardi. On Friday, August 24th, 2 events, 1 night. Join us pregame for a live performance from the Trues. Weather permitting, the patio opens at 4:30 Eastern. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Friday Fan Festival is always a treat. Hopefully the weather will cooperate. They have the pregame ceremonies outside. Randall Grichuk goes after the first pitch. That's going to drop for a base hit. Grichuk got jammed, but flares it into right field for a leadoff single here in the fourth. Blue Jays trail 2-1. Randall Grichuk, want to wish you, and Dairy Queen would like to wish Randall Grichuk a very happy birthday. It's his 27th birthday today.
So you got to do something special on your birthday. Happy birthday, Randall. Tim Leeper today was with him and we wished him a happy birthday. He's like, it's your birthday today? Well, you got to hit a home run on your birthday.
Kendrys Morales, he spent 2 seasons with the Royals, 2015 and 2016. He got a nice ovation when he stepped to the plate for the first time tonight. Takes a strike. It's 1-1.
You can see that sinker going down and away. Don't try and pull that. You can slice that ball to left field. We've seen him doing that many times this year. It's like they're changing up on him. Nope, fastball away.
Staying away. They certainly give him a big part of the infield to hit the ball through. If they pitch him away, that makes it much easier. But obviously he's thinking about an extra base hit in this situation. Grichuk with a sizable lead at first. He's not running. Ball 3. Wes Martin walked his first time up. That extended his streak to 11 straight games reaching base. There's a drive to left field. Gordon has room right at the edge of the warning track. He makes the catch, and Grichuk hustles back to first.
The 2018 Honda CR-V, where style and versatility come together.
46-year-old Kauffman Stadium. Beautiful ballpark. They have done a terrific job of maintaining this ballpark and keeping it current. Boy, it's a beautiful place and always has been.
The improvements that they've put together on this field over the last few years, it's one of the best in all of baseball. They now have a Hall of Fame down the left field line. They've got stuff for kids. You can actually walk all the way around now this stadium. Before it would stop, the bleachers would stop down the right field line and down the left field line. Now they've added a lot.
Perez will throw a lot. He's got a cannon for an arm and a quick release, and he's never concerned about throwing behind the runner.
Yeah, if you're a base runner, you take your secondary lead like Randall did right there, but land on that right foot if the ball is swung and missed, or it's a pitch that is taken by the batter, and then bounce back as quickly as possible.
Martin tried to check his swing. Big slow breaking ball. You know, we talk about Perez and his throwing, and he'll throw a lot to the bases. He hasn't made an error this year.
Nope. And he's thrown out half the base runners trying to steal against him. He is in line for another Gold Glove. That's for sure.
He had won 4 in a row until last year. Martin Maldonado of the Angels snapped that streak of 4 consecutive Gold Gloves for Perez, but he's on pace to win another one this year. Two and two, 1 out. Grichuk at first. Martin fouls it down the right side. I remember when Ned Yost first started to talk about Sal Perez. He said, I heard about this kid down the minors. They were talking about ridiculous pop times from behind the plate. He said, I can't believe that. And then he came up here and he said he threw out base runners for the cycle. Threw one, picked one off at first, threw one out at second, and threw one out at third.
I remember seeing him against the Blue Jays. I think he came straight from Double-A, I believe. And he threw a runner out at third base. I'm like, oh man, we're going to have to face this guy for the next 10 years. He's got that gold plate you can see right on his chest protector, talking about those Gold Gloves.
3 and 2. Grichuk's running. Martin hits it down the left side. It's hooking, and it's going to go foul.
They will start the runner with Russell Martin at the plate. They have a lot of confidence that he'll make contact and give you a good at bat. So it's like the hit and run. So the runner at first base, Grichuk, got to make sure that that pitcher goes home. Batters don't mind as long as they know when that runner is taking off from first base.
Grichuk's running again. Martin swings and misses, and look at that throw. That's academic for Sal Perez. Strike him out, throw him out, double play. Perez with a cannon for an arm, and once he got that ball in his glove, Randall Grichuk is out. Look at this strong throw right on the money to Merrifield to end the inning. It's still a 2-1 ball game. We head to the bottom of the 4th.
glasses as being 70% responsible for turning his offense around. Former roommate pitcher Chris Rowley said back in 2016 the pair were driving somewhere and Jansen had trouble reading a sign on the road up ahead. He had previously complained of not being able to see the scoreboard or picking up the spin on the baseball during a night game. He brushed off the blurry vision as just being tired, but it turns out he had astigmatism in both eyes. Now, his improved eyesight has helped him hit over 300 the past couple of seasons. And for more on Danny Jansen, Buck, you can check out the big read by our colleague Christina Rutherford on sportsnet.ca.
Absolutely. It was a big part of Danny Jansen's turnaround, and he just didn't realize it. And it happens all the time when you just get used to your vision in one fashion and just say, well, that's just the way I'm seeing things. But then, fortunately, he was able to put those glasses on. He went to the Arizona Fall League after he got the glasses, and that's when things really started to click for him. He had 282 for Mesa in the Arizona Fall League, had 2 triples, drove in 11 runs in 20 games, and then that's when it took off for him the next year.
It's mandatory now, isn't it? Teams have eye doctors come in spring training, test your eyes. We saw that this year with Kendrys Morales.
Yeah, and you know what? Danny said he knows about 7 guys in the organization now that have added glasses, and it wasn't always the case. Lined into center. Duda had an 0-2 fastball and hit it back up the middle for a base hit.
They wanted that fastball higher. You got to go higher than high. 0-2, especially against a big power hitter like Lucas Duda. Watch Danny Jansen. He wants that ball up above the strike zone, and it's right down Broadway. Lucas Duda says thank you very much for that 0-2 fastball. It's just a mistake.
Leadoff single here in the bottom of the 4th. Kansas City leads it 2-1. Duda is not a base stealing threat. This is Rosel Herrera, the right fielder. .244 for this season. Herrera flied out to center field his first time up. Herrera's a switch hitter from the Dominican Republic. He signed originally as an amateur free agent with the Colorado Rockies in 2009 and then re-signed a couple of different times with the Rockies. He signed with the Reds in November of this past off season, and then the Royals got him on waivers from the Reds middle of the season back in June.
They have what should have been their everyday player on the disabled list. Jorge Soler was going to be their everyday right fielder. Picked him up in a trade, and he's a good-looking player, but he's been often injured. For the last 3 seasons, he's been injured, and he's out again.
There's a strike. Now it's 3-1. Yeah, and Soler is an impact player, but
yes,
stay on the field.
Yep.
That just hasn't been the case.
He wouldn't be playing if Soler was here. He's their everyday player, but he's got a chance to play now with him on the disabled list.
Strike 2.
Chance to do something. They have a Bonifacio also on the team.
Jorge Bonifacio is 25 years old, and he's a outfielder. 3-2. Duda at first. He is not running, and that's ball 4. So the first 2 reach here in the bottom of the 4th.
Take on any project with Home Hardware, proud partner of the Toronto Blue Jays. Here's how.
Quick mound meeting, and Danny Jansen went out to talk to Sean Reed-Foley, and these 2 rookies have the benefit of the third baseman Russell Martin coming over to get in on the conversation. That's pretty cool. With his great experience behind the plate, now he's playing at third base, and he can come out and add to the conversation.
Yeah, and if they decide to bunt here, you know, you can talk about that defensive positioning if they decide to bunt here.
Brett Phillips not showing any inclination to bunt, hitting just .217 in this in this ballpark, in this situation, going back to the 70s, to the 85 World Series team, you get in this situation, Royals were bunting.
Yes. you play for a run whenever you had a chance because you had great pitching teams and you didn't have a lot of power, so you played for a run here or a run there. He's not bunting now.
Phillips behind 0-2. He drew a walk and scored the first run of this ballgame. First one of the Royals in the second inning on the 2-run home run by O'Hearn. Now the curveball. 0-2 pitch. Got away from. You see Jansen was set up down and in. And that ball was up and away. Duda had to hold up at second to make sure it was down safely. So the bases are loaded, nobody out. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. But Jamie, you're right on the money about Bryce Harper, and he did not have a very productive first half of the season, but things have changed for him in the second half. Pete Walker out to have a conference with both Sean Reed-Foley and the rookie catcher Danny Jansen, talking about this bases loaded situation.
He's also facing a hitter he gave up a home run to his last time up.
Brian O'Hearn, the batter. O'Hearn just his second home run of the season, but he had 95 career home runs in the minors. So he's had some big power numbers in the minors.
He looks like Smokey, doesn't he? Standing up there at the plate. Yeah. He looks like Justin Smoke, and he hit like Smoke last time by powering that ball the other way. And he's going to be ready to gangster that first pitch.
Bases loaded. Fastball upstairs. Kansas City 2 runs on 5 hits. The Blue Jays 1 run on 3 hits. O'Hearn late on that fastball. Luis Santos loosening up for the Blue Jays. Breaking ball. Way outside. 2-1 now.
It's a team, the Royals, they've had trouble scoring lately. Just haven't been scoring a lot of runs.
Scored 5 runs in the 3-game series with the Cardinals. They were swept by St. Louis. Another good fastball. It's 2-2.
Yeah, it looks like the message was, hey, throw your fastball with a little conviction. That might have been his best fastball of the night. 94, but in a good spot. He really tied him up with it.
Duda had an 0-2 single to center. Herrera walked, and Phillips singled to right. The base is loaded. That's full count. No place to put him. Duda, Herrera, and Phillips. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Cut on and fouled into the Royals dugout.
There's no secret what he's going to try and do. They're trying to tie him up with that fastball. He's made a couple of good pitches to him on the inside part of the plate.
Bases loaded, walk. That'll force in a run. Second walk of the inning. And Kansas City now with a 3-1 lead. P. Walker checking on the status of Santos. He's got to be ready now. He's had enough time.
He'll be trying to get the attention of his infield, especially Russell Martin. Anything hit slow, the corners, they want him to go home. They're not going to be able to go around the diamond and get a double play. Mondesi runs too well, so the play's at home.
Pops this one up, and that's out of play. Mondesi, now 23 years old, just turned 23 on the 27th of July.
He's got some power when he connects. He had a home run the other day, Wednesday, versus the Cubs that went 437 feet. So he's got some pop.
He has a grand slam on his resume. He doesn't have the kind of power his dad had.
No.
His dad was a big-time home run hitter.
Different type of player.
Big swing and a miss. 1-2 now. Sean Reed Foley making his big league debut here tonight in Kansas City, and he trails 3-1. Bases are loaded for the Royals with nobody out. Breaking ball foul just over the catcher. It is a steamy night here in Kansas City. 32 degrees. You can see the perspiration has soaked Reed Foley's uniform.
Yeah, his top is a different color than his bottom because it's just soaked.
Breaking ball popped up. Jansen giving chase, but that is over the screen. Out of play. Boy, that's the kind of ball you're just talking to. Stay in here, stay in here. You want to get it out. Get the first out of the inning. Then the double play comes into play.
You can limit the damage, and as a hitter, you're saying, get out of here. Give me one more chance to swing it.
And Baraki will pitch tomorrow. Sam Gaviglio and Baraki having a conversation, I'm sure, talking about some of these Royals hitters. Outside, it's 2-2. Gaviglio will pitch on Thursday night, the fourth and final game of this series. Wednesday, it'll be Marco Estrada and Birch Smith. Gaviglio will go up against the lefty Danny Duffy, if Duffy's able to make that start.
That's right.
Popped up on the infield. Infield fly rule in effect, and Travis makes the catch. That's a big out.
He just overpowered him with that fastball. Said, here it is. I'm going to throw it up in the strike zone, and he can't figure it out. Now, with one pitch, he can get out of this inning with just one run. This is a team, the Royals, that, again, have struggled offensively this season. They average 13th in the American League runs per game. They're not even averaging 4 runs a game. That's last in the AL. And how about the run differential down at the bottom?
Minus 216. And that happens when you win just 35 games.
A lot different from the team just a couple of years ago when they had Eric Hosmer and Lorenzo Cain.
Mercedes Escobar goes after that first pitch.
Mike Moustakas, Ben Zobrist. I mean, they had good everyday players on this team, and they won the World Series. Well, it's rebuild time now in Kansas City. Here's a holdover, though. Alcides Escobar, he's their everyday shortstop.
Prior to this season, he had played back-to-back seasons of playing every day. 162 games. He is a free swinger. He doesn't walk very often.
He's a free swinger with a good idea at the plate. Look at the numbers with the bases loaded. He does have a grand slam to his total. He's thinking about hitting the ball back through the middle.
Off-speed pitch, another pop-up, but it's into the seats. Escobar had a terrific championship series against the Blue Jays back in 2015. He hit .478 in that ALCS. They couldn't get him out.
Couldn't figure him out. Everything he hit found a hole. The beauty of that team is they were very aggressive, but they didn't strike out a lot. Sean's got 2 strikeouts tonight. He could use another one right here.
And fouled off, and that one bounced up and hit the catcher, Danny Jensen. So it'll be another 1-2 pitch. Ground ball. This could be 2. Diaz quickly to Travis. Back to first. What a double play. Good job by Diaz to come after that ball. It wasn't that sharply hit, but he made a very aggressive move to start the double play. And the Blue Jays get out of it with minimal damage. Now time for Blue Jays Central Update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Joe Siddle from the Samsung Broadcast Studio.
My Blue Jays members, log in to My Blue Jays and enter the code MBJ0796 to earn My Blue Jays points just for watching tonight's broadcast. The entry box can be found on your My Blue Jays homepage. Your code must be entered by 4 a.m.
Thank you very much, Hazel. You see the scattering of Blue Jay fans here at Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. It's a 4-game series. Miss Diaz bounced one back to the pitcher's mound his first time up.
Boy, what an inning for Sean Reed-Foley. I thought they were 1 hit away from letting this game get out of hand, getting away from him. But he comes back, gets the pop-up, then gets the ground ball double play. Now Blue Jays are still within striking distance.
Yeah, it was a good effort. The only run that came in that bottom of the 4th inning was the bases loaded walk to Ryan O'Hearn. O'Hearn has driven in all 3 runs. There's a high fastball that was upstairs. It was a ball, but Diaz goes after it. Reed-Foley has thrown 80 pitches to this point, and that last inning was an impressive inning. This is popped up on the infield. Mondesi, the shortstop, moves underneath it and makes the catch.
Can be a learning experience, I think, for a young pitcher. Managers will do that. Hey, you found your way into this mess. You find your way out of it, and he did. Can go a long way to growing a pretty good pitcher.
Absolutely. Be able to keep your focus and think about being one pitch away from getting out of it. There's a breaking ball from Keller to Pilar. Kevin lined out deep to left field his first time up. They have stayed in his kitchen.
Yeah.
In both of these two at bats.
How about Sal Perez? He's 6'5", what, about 230 pounds, 240 pounds, and being able to get down the way he did on that last pitch, as low as he did.
Yeah, you know what, and you don't see it a lot, but I don't mind him at all catching from one knee, and he can really present the target much more dramatically. But he's a big man, and you know what, when he first came up, I thought, boy, it's going to be a problem for him. As big as he is, it has not been a problem whatsoever.
No, they're very nimble and limber. It's like Tony Payne. Remember Tony Payne? You would get down, basically sit down on his back leg.
But Tony Pena was 5'10", and probably weighed 165.
That's my point. That's what's impressive about Sal Perez. He's twice his size, but he can still do the things that Tony did.
Exactly. Same type of target. Popped into center field. Phillips is there. He makes the grab. 2 away. So Danny Jansen will step in. He got a base hit in his first big league at bat, and we can see this coming this season at Buffalo. He had a great offensive start to his season.
His last 2 years in the minor leagues, he has really taken off offensively, showing a little power, but a very good on-base percentage. I mean, to get to the big leagues, I think you have to be a good defensive catcher, and he is.
Goes after the first pitch and hits it high into right field. Herrera is there to end the inning. Quick inning for Keller. 3 up, 3 down. The Blue Jays go quietly in the top of the 5th. Is coming, and it's a game changer. Get ready for a refined travel experience. Visit 787.westjet.com to see the whole story. The fountains at Kauffman Stadium have always been iconic here. Trying to read Fuller, he really got out of a tough situation in the bottom of the 4th, allowing just 1 run on 2 hits and 2 walks.
He's given up a base runner, on each of his innings, but he's only given up those 3 runs, all driven in by O'Hearn. Have a good bounce back inning right here. This might be his last inning tonight, so have a quick one and a bounce back and a good one.
Top of the order. Whit Merrifield is 2 for 2 so far against Reed Foley. That's a good breaking ball. I don't care how hard you throw, how good your breaking ball is. If you can't locate your pitches in the big leagues, you can get hit.
Yeah, and he's gotten hit tonight on his mistakes. Lucas Duda hit an 0-2 fastball, which was a mistake over the plate. But when you concentrate on making your pitches, and just watching his wind up and his mechanics for the first time, you can tell that he's going to be able to throw strikes. He stays within himself. He's got a very simple wind up, stays together.
Breaking ball past Travis into right field. Merrifield was 3 for 3. He came in batting .295. He will be closing in on .300 with a 3-hit night.
A couple of fastballs he hit to left field for base hits, so they tried to pitch him differently. They tried to throw him a breaking ball, and Whit stays hot, hitting that ball the other way. He's looked like he's wanted to run over there all night.
Yeah, I don't know that he's really felt comfortable with Foley's set position. Gordon goes after the first pitch, and it's it high and deep to left center. Pilar breaks it down right on the warning track, and Gordon flies out for a second time. Let's check in with Jamie Campbell. For Bautista, picks up a couple of RBIs. He's got 32 on the season. That's his 9th home run.
Yankees got some bad news today about CC Sabathia.
CC Sabathia went on the DL with inflammation in his knee. That has been a concern. But it is really at a bad time. CC was really throwing the ball well. 1 hit in his last start over 6 innings.
Yeah, dealing. And Blue Jays were going to see him this weekend when we travel to New York after this series, but not anymore.
Salvador Perez, the catcher, pops it up back over the screen, out of play. Perez hit into a double play in the first, and he was robbed of a base hit by Russell Martin in the third. Looked like he had a clean single through the left side of the infield. Russell dove to his left, gloved it, and threw him out.
Very athletic play by Russell. There's Luis Santos up again, just in case they gets into trouble. Russell has looked very good at third base.
Foul back. I'm with you. I just think sooner or later Merrifield's got to take off. He's been on base all 3 times. He's had plenty of looks at Reed Foley.
And he's bluffed twice.
Still not running. Fly ball in the air. Grichuk retreats. Ball's carrying all the way to the warning track, but he's got room to make the catch. 2 away. So Perez is 0 for 3.
Again, another reason why this is a great ballpark for a young pitcher to make his major league debut in. There have been some long drives that in other ballparks, those are home runs.
Rogers Center, they're home runs.
Yeah, that would have been gone. I thought Gordon's ball that was caught by Pilar could have been gone. Gordon also hit a ball in the first inning to right field that sent Grichuk to the warning track in right field, but it hung up here in this big ballpark.
Lucas Duda single to start the 4th inning. He got an 0-2 fastball that he hit right back up the middle into center field, and it came around to score on the bases loaded walk.
Make him stop at first.
Well, he's still not running. And
Did you see him inching off
yeah,
there?
he flinched like he wanted to go, but he's not comfortable.
He's 25 for 31 in stolen bases this year. It looked like he's had a couple of chances to try and get himself in a scoring position.
He led the American League in stolen bases last year with 34. He's had plenty of opportunities to go tonight. Good hits off the end of the bat. 0-2 now. This is the same count he had last time up when he singled to center.
Remember, it was a high fastball that they wanted, and he didn't get it up high enough. I'd do it. I'd throw it again. I mean, he's got to learn what is a high fastball. So it's a good time to do it again. Just make a better pitch.
Blocked there. Bounces away from Jansen, so Merrifield will go to second base. It'll be a wild pitch charge to Sean Reed Foley.
He went curveball, and he overthrew that one trying to get the strikeout and end the inning. Jansen tries to block it, keep it in front of him, squirts away.
One ball, two strikes to Duda. Fastball. 93 pitches thrown by Reed Foley now. Getting near the end of the line. Santos is standing by ready down in the bullpen. I'm sure they'd like Reed Foley to get out of this inning, walk off the mound with his club.
Yeah, feel good about himself. Got out of that tough inning last inning. Now get out of this one.
Boy, Duda hanging tough. Look at the pitches, all borderline pitches. He's kept everything out of the middle of the plate in this at bat. That fastball got away from him there. You can see how far he missed the strike zone. Probably wearing down a little bit. A lot of emotions in your first big league start. That'll drain you of some of your energy as well. And it's a hot, muggy night. Duda, he's a veteran hitter. He's putting up a fight here. He's got a runner in scoring position.
He's not making it easy on him, is he?
Pete Walker talking with Baraki. Probably getting his thoughts about
tomorrow's starter.
Tomorrow's starter, but I bet she's talking about Reed Foley. They've spent a lot of time together.
Giving him a scouting report.
Yeah. What have you seen tonight? What's different than what have you seen in the past? 2-2 pitch. There goes Merrifield, but it's academic. Another strikeout for Reed Foley. That's 3 strikeouts in his first big league game. He walks off the field completing 5 innings, and he's kept his team within striking distance. Kansas City leads it 3-1.
returned on Sportsnet. Catch the world's biggest stars as they compete for the prestigious Premier League title. The Premier League, right here on Sportsnet and Sportsnet World.
We move to the top half of the 6th inning. It'll be top of the order for the Blue Jays. Granderson, Travis, and Smoke. We haven't been able to get much going off Brad Heller, the starter. Travis hit a first inning home run. It's the only run the Blue Jays have had. Nobody's loosening up in the Royals bullpen. Keller has thrown 72 pitches, and it's ball 3. That's what the Blue Jays need. Get some runners on. I always kind of laugh to myself when I see that 3-0 fastball go right down the middle for a strike. There's a base hit for Granderson.
And you say to yourself, well, why didn't you do that 0-0
on the first pitch?
On the first pitch, you make your job a little bit easier. Well, now you fall behind and you give the hitter every advantage in the world. Curtis is going to take advantage of it.
A leadoff single for Granderson. Now Devin Travis, he homered in the first inning for Travis, his 9th home run of the season. Takes a high strike.
And he's got a very high ground ball rate. He's induced 15 ground ball double plays this season, Keller. So if you're Devin Travis, make him get that ball up.
Slider called strike. Travis quickly behind Keller 0-2. You mentioned the ground ball rate. Only Marcus Stroman has a higher ground ball percentage than Brad Keller in the major leagues.
So as a batter, he's going to try and throw that ball down in the strike zone. You got to stay and make him get that ball up. Good patience there on that breaking ball.
Hot, muggy night here in Kansas City. You see all the players taking in that water, trying to stay hydrated, and it'll sap your energy.
The lowest batting average they have against Keller is on that sinker. This is a perfect time to go to it right now with a 1-2 count.
Good fastball that fouled into the upper deck.
Yeah, it was a good fastball, but it was right down the middle and it was up. Same type of pitch that Devin homered on in the first inning.
Popped up. Travis loses the bat. Perez stays with it and makes the catch.
That's the bat right there past Louis Rivera, the third base coach. Slider. And he just lost the handle. You talk about how hot it is here. Your batting gloves get soaking wet and you lose the bat. There it goes.
Bat flies over Rivera's head down the third base line. Granderson still at first. Now there's one out for Smoke. Justin has walked in, grounded out.
Boy, they wanted that fastball there, maybe to set something else up. Of course, they're in the shift now with Smoke at first base, or at the plate, and a runner at first base. StatCast AI is powered by AWS. 3 infielders on the right side.
Wait, they haven't given Smoke much to hit tonight. He did hit a hot shot that hit the pitcher and bounced to the third baseman, Escobar.
To his credit, Justin is laid off of everything. He hasn't gone outside the strike zone yet to try and reach those pitches.
Got a pretty good pitch to hit, pulled it foul that time. Smoke this season has had his problems against the Royals. He is just 2 for 14 going heads up against Kansas City's pitching staff. Three and one. Brando Grichuk, the birthday boy, is on deck. He had a base hit his last time up in the fourth. He'll hit if Smoke can stay out of a double play. Breaking ball for strike two.
That's all right. 3-1. You're looking for a certain pitch. If he doesn't throw it, go ahead and take it. He's got a lot of confidence hitting with 2 strikes.
Granderson is not running. That ball is off the end of the bat. Mondesi to Escobar. Double play. Second double play Kansas City has turned in support of Brad Keller. That'll end the inning. Kansas City holding on to that 3-1 lead. New pitcher is Luis Santos coming out of the Jays bullpen. Sean Reed Foley made his major league debut here tonight in Kansas City against the Royals. He goes 5 innings, gives up 6 hits, 3 earned runs. He walked 3 and had 3 strikeouts. Whit Merrifield had 3 of those 6 hits, top of the order, and he will now turn things over to the bullpen. Luis Santos, the first up for the Blue Jays.
Maybe he grew a little bit as a pitcher tonight, facing big league hitters for the first time, getting out of that bases loaded jam in the 4th inning. Luis Santos did not pitch in the series the Blue Jays had with the Tampa Bay Rays. He last worked a couple of times in that Boston series. Multiple innings the last time out 5 days ago, so they wanted to give him a breather. Santos has pitched a lot better out of the bullpen recently. Really, the only time that he had some problems are the games that he started. When they had the bullpen day, his fastball's been better. He's been throwing a better breaking ball.
Marcel Herrera, the right fielder, has flied out and walked. He was part of that rough inning for Sean Reed Foley in the 4th inning when Foley gave up the third run of the game, make it a 3-1 game. Off the plate outside. 2 balls and a strike. Leadoff man here in the 6th. The Blue Jays had the lead. A first inning home run by Devin Travis, but then the Royals got 2 back on a home run by Ryan O'Hearn. That was in the 2nd. The Royals added a run in the 4th.
Got to get that first guy, and you got to pound that strike zone. Last time he pitched, Luis Santos walked 3 batters in 2 innings against Boston through 36 pitches. That's why he missed that Tampa series. Chance now, you got the middle of the lineup here to set him down.
Full count now. Brett Phillips is on deck. He has reached base twice with a walk and a base hit. He scored on the O'Hearn home run in the 2nd. Left field, that's going to get down in front of Granderson for a base hit. Herrera's aboard with a leadoff single.
The 2018 Civic Type R, like no Honda you've ever seen.
Brett Phillips, the center fielder. Santos gives up the leadoff single to Herrera. There's a strike. Santos, like so many pitchers, always better when he gets ahead. Though he's 27 years old, this is his 2nd stint with the Blue Jays. He came up last year, appeared in 10 games. This is his 13th game of the season this year. He's been kind of a swing guy, going back and forth between the minors and the majors.
Yeah, and he's made a start. Remember, they had the bullpen day. Made a start versus Minnesota. A couple of innings, 3 hits, and a run, but then he came back 2 days later, could only get 1 out and won another inning, another outing against Minnesota.
2 runs on 4 hits, just 1 out, as you mentioned.
He's got enough movement on his fastball that he can get the ground ball.
Strike 3 call. They got the breaking ball over. Phillips is called out on strikes.
Well, one thing he has done in his short major league career, that has been to strike out batters. He's had 23 outings now as a big leaguer. In 21 of them, he's had at least 1 strikeout. That time backdoor to breaking ball for the strike.
He didn't have a strikeout on the 7th of August in that Boston game, and also that outing against Minnesota you were talking about after he started. The only 2 times he didn't get a strikeout. This is Ryan O'Hearn. He is responsible for all 3 of the Royals runs tonight. He had a 2-run home run in the 2nd, bases loaded walk in the 4th. And that's where we stand now. Bottom of the 6th, it's 3-1 Kansas City. Watching Danny Jansen catch tonight, boy, he hasn't even been in focus, and that suggests that he's doing a heck of a job. We haven't even noticed him. He had 1 block go off his chest protector, but boy, he's real quiet behind the plate, receives the ball very well.
I've been watching him throw in between innings because I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of him being in the minor leagues, just what we saw in spring training. I like what I see in his release and the carry on his ball. Sets a good target back there also.
Ken Huckabee is the minor league catching instructor. He does a great job with all of these catchers, and they really go through the grinds in spring training, and all throughout the course of the summer they will have refreshers with Huckabee as he makes his way around the minor leagues.
He's had a lot of good things to say about Danny Jansen as a catcher.
Strike three, call another breaking ball. So back-to-back strikeouts for Santos after he gave up the leadoff single to Herrera.
Same pattern, same sequence that he used to strike out Phillips. He strikes out O'Hearn. Backdoor breaking ball. There's the target from Jansen, and he frames it up for his pitcher.
Herrera faked a break at first base, but as Mondesi squared around to protect him, it's a ball outside for ball one.
Not a big base stealer over there at first base. It might have just been to open up a hole on defense, but Mondesi faked the bunt. He's got some power, and if you're the outfielders, you got to play a step deeper, I think. Cut off any ball in the outfield.
He was out in front of that off-speed pitch. Ball and a strike now. Shows bunt blocked by Jansen. Mondesi squared around like he wanted to bunt. Pulled the bat back. It's 2 balls and a strike.
I don't know why he would be bunting for a base hit with 2 outs and a runner at first base.
And the number 9 hitter behind you.
Yeah.
That doesn't make a lot of sense.
As a manager, you're saying, hey, hit a double. Try and score that runner from first base.
Just foul. Well, that's maybe the toughest play for a first baseman. When you're holding a base runner on, the pitcher delivers the pitch to the plate. You bounce to your right to get a good angle on the ball, and then the ball's hit back toward the base. You have to regroup and change directions in a hurry.
And a left-handed throwing first baseman, because the glove is on the other side. You got to spin back around. For a right-handed throwing first baseman, it's a little bit easier on that ball down the line. He's one of the best in baseball for me. Getting a chance to watch him day in and day out play first base.
Delay steal. Jansen was all over it. Good reaction by the rookie catcher. Herrera with the delay steal attempt. Jansen delivers a strike to second base. Diaz looked like he's going to save that souvenir for Danny Jansen. And the Jansen family can celebrate another milestone. His first caught stealing in the big leagues. There's the delay steal, but look at the throw right on the money at second.
On Saturday, August 25th, the first 20,000 fans will receive this Blue Jays replica batting helmet. Then watch your Blue Jays host the Philadelphia Phillies at 4:07 p.m. Eastern. For tickets, visit BlueJays.com.
Thank you very much, Hazel. The Phillies and the Atlanta Braves are tied atop the National League East. And they will be at Rogers Center for a 3-game series. Randall Grichuk takes a strike. It's now 1-1. Grichuk leading things off here in the top of the 7th. Boy, the Blue Jays pounded on Red Sox pitching. Couldn't do anything against the Rays, and they can't do much against Brad Keller and the Royals so far.
They had him, I thought, on the ropes in the first 2 innings. They had a home run and a walk in the first inning, a leadoff walk in the second inning, plus a single, but just couldn't do anything about it. Had a runner thrown out at the plate, and since then he has really settled down. This is his 3rd strikeout of the night. No backup breaking ball that gets Randall Grichuk.
Six in the 3rd, 1 earned run. That was the home run by Travis. Only 4 hits in the game. Morales takes a first pitch strike. Ball on the strike now. 7th inning, and Blue Jays bullpen is on. Kansas City's bullpen still sitting back, enjoying watching their starter. He's still under 100 pitches.
Doesn't look like he's slowing down either. Still has some pop on that fastball. Teams have been pitching Kentrys inside a lot this year, but that doesn't go with the strengths of Keller. His strengths are sinkers down and away.
Keller has an 8-inning outing under his belt this season. That was at Seattle. A tough luck loss. He lost 1-0. Ground ball. Merrifield is in the outfield. Long throw in plenty of time. 2 away.
Beauty Tone is the official paint of the Toronto Blue Jays. Only available at Home Hardware. Here's how.
City of Fountains in Kansas City, and they have the fountains incorporated into the beautiful stadium and all around Country Club Plaza where the ball club is staying. There are beautiful fountains almost on every corner. Russ Martin looked like he was in between what he wanted to swing at. Kind of a hesitation in the swing.
Elevated fastball, that's the ones you want to swing at against a ground ball pitcher.
Well, that's a tough strike. And Russell Martin's letting the home plate umpire know it. Mike Estabrook's got the home plate tonight. Zach Perez with a little extra reminder.
He is so good back there. You know, the way he cradles that ball after he catches it, the way he sets up, just little things to tell his pitcher where he wants the ball. He does so many things correctly behind the plate.
Very subtle movements from the catcher that only the pitcher will pick up on. After he had called for that fastball 2 pitches ago, he pointed to his head. Hey, 0-2, finish it off now. Don't make a mistake. Want it down here. He bounced it, and ball went all the way back to the backstop. Full count, 2 outs. Blue Jays trail by 2 runs. They need a base runner on. Diaz is on deck if Martin can reach. He swings and misses. Keller still has 95 in the tank. 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 7th inning. telecast is presented by authority of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of Rogers Blue Jays Baseball Partnership. We're in Kansas City at Kauffman Stadium. First game of a 4-game series. Buck Martinez, Pat Tabler, Hazel May, we're all with you. And we're glad you're with us tonight. Kansas City have had a disappointing season, just 35 wins coming into this game, and they have the lead.
Remember just a couple of years ago, Game 6 in this ballpark, a little bit different. That place was rocking.
It was different for both teams indeed.
Yes.
What a great atmosphere. Jose Bautista with a couple of home runs. Looked like the Blue Jays were going to tie it up in the 9th.
Yeah. They had a great chance. They left that tying run at third base. They win that game. I had a real good feeling about Game 7. Didn't you?
Yep. The two teams would really bang heads, and that was a terrific ALCS. The Blue Jays and would advance again in 2016 and lose at the hands of the the Indians in 2016. And you know what? That series is a lot closer than the 4-1 score would indicate.
Yeah.
There were a couple of games that could have gone either way. But it's hard to fathom. We have talked about the Blue Jays and how quickly things have turned around for them. Same for the Royals and for the Orioles.
Yeah, there's a few other teams that you could throw in there. Now the Blue Jays look like they are ready to rebuild. Got some of the young players starting to come up. Here's another one starting to loosen up in the pen.
Thomas Pannone, a young left-hander. He's got one appearance under his belt. $14,721 here at Kauffman Stadium for the first game of this series.
Good hit and run combination.
And they started the runner.
You got some speed at first base in Mondesi. You got one of the best hitters in baseball at making contact and hitting tough pitches in Alcides Escobar. So Ned Yost doesn't waste any time. He goes on the first pitch.
Now Mondesi has good speed. He's got 12 stolen bases, been caught just 3 times.
Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on again at some point in this at-bat.
Come right back with it again. You know, why not? You've got 35 wins. You've got a 3-1 lead. You've got a veteran hitter at the plate in Escobar. Why not roll the dice? Just see how your team handles it.
They've had base runners on every inning, but they've only been able to push 3 runs across. So you got to do something a little bit different. Play a little bit more aggressive.
Danny Jansen threw out Jose Herrera trying to steal. That ended the bottom of the 6th inning. Jansen in the minor leagues threw out just 23%. That's below the average. But what I saw in that throw was impressive. He got rid of it in a hurry and threw a strike.
Thrown over to first base just to get an idea what that runner is doing. There's DeMarlo Hale. He controls the running game right there. Every one of those movements that you just saw him have is assigned to his young catcher. A sign for the pitcher to throw over, step off, what type of pitch you want.
Ground ball up the middle. Diaz gloves it, flips to Travis. What a double play. Oh my. Now Edmus Diaz has started 2 tough double plays. He started double play in the 4th, and right there he takes a hit away from Alcides Escobar and turns it into 2.
Yeah, that's just not a normal double play. That could have found its way into the outfield, and the Royals were looking at a big inning, but Alcides catches it, doesn't have time to transfer, just shovels it over to Travis. And Devin's been getting so much better at turning that double play. Luis Santos likes that.
Third double play of the night turned by the Blue Jays. Now Whit Merrifield. He's had a big night. He's up to 300 right on the nose. 3 for 3 in this ball game. Raised his average 5 points. 8th time this season he's had 3 hits in a game. He's had a 4-hit game and a 5-hit game.
And he doesn't give away at bats. I mean, you look at him, and he had a chance to make this team a few years ago, and he is not giving it up.
Brandon Maurer loosening up for the Royals. First one up in support of Keller. Merrifield had a 5 for 5 game against the Red Sox right here at Kauffman Stadium back on the 8th of July. In that game, he had a pair of doubles. He can hit. He was 2 for his previous 24 coming into tonight's game. Santos, when he gets his rest and has a lot of rest between outings, he's effective. Throws a lot of strikes.
Key to that statement, getting the proper rest. He didn't work in that Tampa series because he worked a couple of times in the previous series against Boston. Got a little bit more zip to his fastball tonight.
Call strike 3. Santos with another strikeout. 3 strikeouts at 2 innings of work for the right-hander. We'll go to the 8th inning. Blue Jays got to figure something out. New pitcher coming into the game for Kansas City.
Blue Jays on Sportsnet. Presented by Honda at the Model Clearout event. The real victory lap is the drive home.
Top of the 8th inning in Kansas City. The Blue Jays trail 3-1. And the starter, Brad Keller, is out of the ball game, and Brandon Maurer will take over. The big right-hander comes in, making his 23rd appearance of the season.
Just a few years ago, Kansas City had one of the best bullpens in all of baseball. It hasn't been that way this year. Brandon Maurer takes over. Just last year, he was with San Diego, and he was their closer at 20 saves for the Padres before he came over here right at the trade deadline. He is now the 8th inning setup man.
He's got a fastball to average 96 miles an hour. Ledmus Diaz, the first Blue Jay to hit here in the 8th.
Who doesn't coming out of the bullpen anymore? He likes to work very quickly. It's fastball slider for Brandon Maurer.
Yeah, we saw that dramatically played out in a Rays series when their bullpen just kept bringing those big arms out, one right after another. Hard breaking ball. 3-0. Kevin Pillar in the 8th spot is on deck. Wow. That ball looked like it was a foot off the plate inside.
You know, and that's when you say as a hitter, hey, it's not automatic. Not all 3-0 pitches are strikes, and that one didn't even look like it was close. Forces you to swing at that one.
Now you got to really focus with this 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and he is not happy about the entire impact. 3-0 looked like it was ball 4, and he is called out on strikes.
And then to make matters worse, he throws him a breaking ball. I thought the last pitch was a strike. But after all of those fastballs, he changes up and throws the slider and picks up the strikeout.
Come back and look at Diaz's 3-0 pitch. This is the ball that was called a strike, and
that's the one that
was off the plate.
He was upset with. Should have been a 4-pitch walk.
Changes the entire at bat. Here's Kevin Pillar batting. He falls behind 0-1. Pillar is lined out twice, once to left, once to center. Breaking ball for a strike. Now many of the Blue Jays have extensive at bats against Mauer. Pillar himself just 0 for 1. Popped up back in our direction over our heads.
Another slider from Mauer. He got away with a hanger that time.
Mauer has pitched for the Mariners, the Padres, and now Kansas City. Mauer and Perez had their signals crossed.
Should be high fastball here, you would think. You're throwing upper 90s.
Throw him a breaking ball. Diaz still steaming about that 3-0 call. I got to get on base. That's all I'm thinking about doing, and they call it a strike. Eighth inning. Kansas City has the lead in the opener of this 4-game series. Pillar hits it hard and foul.
The netting has been extended over the dugouts here at Kauffman Stadium, but that one, he got the head out and pulled it right past that netting and into the seats. Ooh, scary.
Another breaking ball. One and two now to Pillar. Danny Jansen, the rookie, is on deck. Jansen is 1 for 2. He has one of the 4 Blue Jay hits tonight. Off the plate. Jansen got a single in his first big league at bat. Breaking ball. Pillar strikes out.
That last pitch set up by the fastball just off the plate. As a hitter, you're saying, well, maybe he's going back out there with that hard fastball that he changed up with on Pillar and threw him a slider. Mauer gets the first 2 here in the 8th inning. He's got a good arm. Can tell.
Royals have struck out 4 of the last 5 batters to come to the plate. 96 for strike 1.
He likes to work quickly. That's the scouting report on him. He's not straying too far from that pitcher's rubber.
Breaking ball on the dirt, ball on the strike to Danny Jansen. Jansen had a chance for his first big league RBI in the second inning. In his first at bat, he got a base hit to left field. Russell Martin was at second, but Alex Gordon, the left fielder, threw Martin out at the plate, cut down a run. Bouncing ball. This is going to be a base hit. Stayed fair. Danny Jansen with his second hit of the game. He gets aboard with 2 outs, and his family's enjoying this major league debut.
And you know he's taking that. That's a thing of beauty right there.
Whatever it takes to get on base, you're down by 2 runs, and now Curtis Granderson will step in representing the tying run. So Jansen is 2 for 3 in his first big league game. Anderson went after that first pitch fastball, and we have talked about it. He doesn't swing often, but in pivotal situations, he'll look for that first fastball.
Yeah, only Joe Mauer has swung fewer times this season than Curtis Granderson at that first pitch, but that's the time right there. You represent the tying run, you get a fastball, see how far you can hit it.
Plays off that breaking pitch. There are the numbers we were talking about. Just 8% of the time does he swing at the first pitch. That gets away, and Jansen's going to move up. Perez had that ball bounce up, and I'm not sure where he got hit, but it looked like it hit him on the bicep, maybe.
Just never
underneath
know.
That padding.
On a breaking ball, when it hits in the dirt out in front of home plate, things liable to bounce anywhere. You get that reverse spin after it hits in front of home plate, and as a catcher, again, you're not trying to catch it, you're just trying to block it. But he looks like he's okay. A little courtesy cleaning off of the home plate.
So now there's a runner in scoring position for Granderson. The count's in his favor, 2-1. Now it's 2-2. Full count. Missed with that fastball. Devin Travis homered back in the first. Ball 4. Drive the Game is brought to you by the 2018 Honda Odyssey. With available Honda Vac, it always bats cleanup.
Blue Jays scored 3 runs in 3 games against the Tampa Bay Rays and losing 2 of them, but they get off to a great start here in Game 1. First inning, Devin Travis with this long drive down the left field line. It's going to stay fair just inside the foul pole down the left field line, 392 feet away. Gave the Blue Jays a quick 1-0 lead. That's the only run they have scored tonight. It's also our drive of the game. Devin Travis has been swinging a hot bat for the Blue Jays lately.
Cal Edroyd, the pitching coach, has gone out to the mound to have a chat with the pitcher. That meeting is broken up by the home plate umpire, Mike Estabrook. Let me tell you something. I've got a real problem with that 3-2 breaking ball to Curtis Granderson. It's like, come on. It's a big ballpark. It's a 2-run game. You throw him a 3-2 slider to a veteran. He lays off of it. And now you got more action in the bullpen. On the left, Blaine Boyer. On the right, Tim Hill.
You throw 97, 98 miles an hour. Show some faith in it. Now you get to face Devin Travis, who represents the go-ahead run.
Hit in the air to center. Phillips is back, and he's going to run it down. So Mauer gets out of it. Gives up an infield hit and a walk, with the Blue Jays strand 2. We'll go to the bottom of the 8th. Kansas City leads it. Now time for a Blue Jays Central update. Here's Jamie Campbell with Joe Siddle from the Samsung broadcast studio.
Summer is almost here. Don't miss SummerSlam on Sunday only on the WWE Network at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific Time. Buck.
Thank you very much, Hazel, as we have made our way to the bottom of the 8th inning. Blue Jay fans here in Kansas City getting together and a chance to watch their team play on the road. And we have a new pitcher and another youngster, Thomas Pannone, making his second big league appearance.
Yeah, and his first one was pretty good. He just got recalled on the 9th of this month, made his major league debut the next day versus Tampa Bay. First batter he faced, Kevin Kiermaier struck him out. He showed a pretty good breaking ball. In fact, he had 3 strikeouts in an inning and 2/3 in that first taste of the big leagues. He'll get a couple of left-handers this inning. And that's why John Gibbons has him into the ball game.
Alex Gordon, the left fielder, he's left-handed. He'll bat first. Then the right-handed catcher, Sal Perez, and then another lefty, Lucas Duda. 2, 3, and 4 in the Royals lineup. Good test for Pannone. Bottom of the 8th inning. What do you like about Pannone against left-handed hitters?
I love his breaking ball. He spins a better breaking ball than we were told. And I talked to some of the Blue Jay coaches, and they said, you know what, his breaking ball is better, so it has improved. Some of the hitters said that his fastball's got a little bit more giddy up to it when it comes to home plate. It doesn't look like he's throwing hard, but batters have had trouble turning around his fastball. Yeah, I love that kind of breaking ball. Blue Jays had a reliever here a few years ago who was pretty successful coming out of the bullpen throwing breaking balls. That was Brett Cecil, who ended up signing with St. Louis.
Pretty good fastball and good spot down and away. It's 2-2 now to Alex Gordon. Thomas Pannone went to Southern Nevada Community College. That's where Bryce Harper played his college baseball, and at that time, Pannone was an outfielder. He went there and was recruited as a hitter. Fly ball into center. Pilar is racing back, and he makes the catch. Went away. Gordon's retired. But Pannone, in his freshman year, said the team was struggling with their pitching. They asked me if I would try pitching. He had pitched in high school, but he envisioned himself as an outfielder and wanted to hit, but things went so well from the mound, he made his way into professional baseball as a pitcher.
I think he's going to be happy with his decision. He's left-handed. He spins a pretty good breaking ball. And if he ends up in the bullpen, he can pitch forever. Guys like that, you see them 12, 15 years in the big leagues.
Dan Plesac, Jesse Orozco, those guys come to mind. They weren't closers necessarily, but they were specialists.
You know who he reminds me of? Rick Honeycutt. Remember Rick Honeycutt?
That's a good call.
And Rick pitched forever. I believe he's still the pitching coach for the Los Angeles Dodgers, but not a real big guy. But savvy and understood pitching, how to get guys out, and he had a good breaking ball.
The Blue Jays have a coach down in the minor leagues that had a long career, Darryl Knowles, and he is a great pitching coach for these young pitchers, and he pitched a lot like Pannone. Knowles is one of those relief pitchers that pitches in 7 games in a World Series for Oakland. There's the closer, Willie Peralta. He's starting to loosen up for Kansas City.
Hey, be careful on this 3-0 pitch to Sal Perez.
He had the green light. This has popped up. Smokes calling for it and makes the catch in foul territory. Yep, they gave him the green light. And got the pop-up.
He made a good pitch. He didn't give in and just throw a fastball down the middle. He actually spotted it outside. And Perez was anticipating that ball inside, opened up those hips a little bit too quickly and popped the ball up.
So here's another lefty for Pannone, Lucas Duda. Duda's 1 for 3. Gurriel was out working extensively today. Did a lot of running, did a lot of fielding, took regular batting practice. He's getting close.
Yes, I think we're going to see him on this trip. I was watching him take batting practice today, and he looked like he hasn't lost a beat. Remember, 11 consecutive games with at least 2 hits.
That's still an active streak. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball. How about that one? A 2-0 curveball, and he drops it in there for a strike.
What you have to do against those big home run hitters. Can't give in to them.
Now Duda is in between. You going to throw me another one? Or is he going to come back with a fastball? Fastball for strike 2. Breaking ball, he left it inside. 3-2, 2 outs. Jose Herrera is a switch hitter. And if Duda can reach, he will bat right-handed. Pannone loses him. So he walks Duda with 2 outs. Jake Petrichka is loosening up for the Blue Jays. Rosel Herrera is 1 for 2 with a walk. He's the right fielder and the switch hitter. So he'll bat right-handed for the first time. Herrera batting .232 against lefty pitching, .252 against righties. Big cut. Pannone's fastball, it'll be in the lower 90s. That's about max for him, but he's going to have to locate his fastball to set up that breaking ball.
And maybe pitch backwards. I mean, I don't know a whole lot about him, but 2-0, like he dropped that breaking ball on Duda. And when you do that, then you get those guys guessing. And he came back with a good fastball. There's the 2-2 pitch. If he could have finished him off, I thought he had him set up for that breaking ball.
Inside. 2 balls and a strike. Bottom of the 8th inning. Thomas Pannone in relief of Luis Santos. Santos had 2 good innings of relief. He allowed just a single. Walked a batter and struck out 3 in his 2 innings of work. Duda's at first. Herrera with a 2-2 count. Thomas Pannone trying to keep it a 2-run game. Got him. Herrera strikes out. So the 2-out walk doesn't factor in. We'll go to the ninth. The Blue Jays trail by 2. Smoke, Grichuk, and Morales. Middle of the order, it'll be the closer, Willie Peralta. 6 for 6 in save opportunities for the Royals. Their last chance, and they have been struggling of late. We told you how well they hit against Boston. They had a .309 average against that very good Boston pitching staff. Then Tampa Bay came to town and really shut the doors on the offense. They hit just 157 against the Rays.
And averaged 1 run. They scored 3 runs in 3 games and only a home run. Hitting with runners in scoring position was a big problem there. They just need to be able to string some hits together and cash in on some walks when you need to. 3-1, just 5 hits again tonight, and they will face the closer now for the Kansas City Royals. It's Willie Peralta. Saves have been few and far between for Peralta. His last save opportunity was July the 31st. He pitched in yesterday's game, a non-save situation, gave up 3 runs.
Peralta's a former starter. He played 6 years in Milwaukee, and he was a starter. In 2014, he had 17 wins. But now he's made the transition to the back end of the bullpen. Boy, a very delayed call by the home plate umpire, and Smoke not too happy with that. Breaking ball looked like it was low. Ball and a strike to the leadoff man here in the top of the ninth. Smoke, then Grichuk and Morales behind him to face Peralta here. Smoke has a home run against Peralta. He's 1 for 7 against the closer. Had a good cut at that pitch, down and away. 2-2 now.
Well, you got to find your way on base. Got to get that tying run to the plate any way you can.
Breaking ball. As a starter, of course, Peralta had a full complement of pitches, and he looks like he's using those pitches as a closer now.
Yeah. And again, they're being very careful with Justin Smoke. Another long at bat.
Smoke walked his first time up. He has since grounded out and grounded into a double play.
Another off-speed pitch. Again, if you throw a fastball and it's your best pitch, and he's got a pretty good fastball, and he hits it out of the ballpark, you're still winning. But if you go to your secondary stuff and you're not real confident with it, and you end up walking him, you're going to bring that tying run to the plate.
Again, it seems as though Perez is calling for one pitch and Peralta doesn't want to throw that. Smoke draws a walk, a leadoff walk here in the ninth. Nobody out. Now for a preview of what's coming up on Sportsnet Central. Here's Martine and Alex. Thank you very much. That's all coming up right after this game, so make sure you stay tuned. And Ronald Acuna is one of those phenoms. Youngster having a great run with the Braves.
They had a double header today, the Braves. So I'm sure he had a good day.
Randall Grichuk jumps on the first pitch and hits it a mile high over near the seats, and it is out of play. Grichuk has a lot of at-bats against Peralta. He's 5 for 15. Both playing in the National League. Of course, when Peralta was a starter with the Brewers, that's how you rack up all those at-bats.
And he's got home run power. Just missed that one.
Smoke with the leadoff walk. Grichuk had a good look at that pitch off the plate. Randall had a base hit to right field in the fourth. And then he was caught stealing on a strike him out, throw him out double play in the fourth. Russell Martin struck out and Perez threw Grichuk out at second.
Well, he is giving the Blue Jays a chance here, not finding the plate, walking the leadoff hitter, and now following behind Randall Grichuk. Are you surprised they're holding the runner on at first base?
Yeah, especially because of Smoke.
Yeah, I mean, he's not going to go anywhere. They're playing in the shift. Look at that side of the infield that Grichuk can shoot for it. Remember, he stayed on that breaking ball, the second pitch of this at bat, and they're working him away.
He takes a strike on the outside corner. That evens the count at 2-2. There you see the defense and the big gap between Duda at first and Merrifield up the middle. Especially now with 2 strikes, you would think Merrifield would move back toward straightaway second base, but he's not doing it. And Grichuk strikes out. 96 with a good sinking fastball.
That was the best pitch that he has thrown so far in this inning. He had some movement on it. He had a little fire on it too. Oh, that ball just nose dive when it came towards home plate.
Morales now will bat. And this Morales, he's had decent success against Peralta. He's 3 for 6. Peralta looked like he called Perez out. He wanted to talk to him about something.
He's got an idea how he wants to pitch Kendrys Morales. Remember when Smoke was up, he kept playing fastball and he kept shaking him off. Maybe Peralta feels good about his off-speed pitch tonight.
You know what? Pitchers warm up down the bullpen. They have a pretty good idea what feels right, what doesn't. You know, he has gone with the breaking ball, especially to left-handed hitters. We'll have a look now as Morales is 0 for 3 to this point. A couple of ground outs and a fly out. Kendrys played 2 seasons with the Royals, and he has 25 career home runs in this ballpark. Now, breaking ball, you see Perez had set up outside, and I think he just wanted to try to drop it on the outside corner, but Morales chased it.
I think they're going to do everything they can to keep this ball away from Kendrys Morales. Kendrys has one thing on his mind right now, trying to tie this game up with one swing. So if you're the Kansas City Royals, pitch away from his power. Again, they're going to go away.
On the ground. Escobar backhands to Mondesi. Boy, what a double play. Now, Cedes Escobar is playing third base, but that ball was just like his shortstop position. And he backhanded it and fired to Mondesi, who turned it very quickly. That ends the ball game.
He had all kind of possibilities. He just had to catch the ball. And then after he caught it, he could have stood up and made a throw, but he elected to throw behind him to make it pretty. Look at this backhand all the way and then picked by Mondesi. Stays in there and finishes off the ball game with a pretty play. The Royals finally win a ball game against the Blue Jays.
They had been swept at Rogers Center earlier in the season. They win the opener. Ryan O'Hearn had a big night. Thanks for watching, folks. Stay tuned. Here's Sportsnet Central with Martine and Alex.